Hi everyone and welcome to another tutorial of mine. This is how to get Octavia. Except unlike my others, I'm not going to be calling it quick and easy because this one is quite a slog. And before I get started right away in the quest, there's some things you should know. First off, this quest will have spoilers for the War Within. I'm going to actually make two versions of this video. This version is going to be concentrating on just what you should do in the quest and how you do everything. And the other one is going to be concentrating on the actual aspects of the story. So in this video, I won't be using any, I won't be having the transmission volume up. I always have it off, like most of the time. So if you want to know what is actually going on in the story, watch the other version of the video. And I suggest actually just watching this one for how to actually do it. Next off, you're going to want to bring for this mission either some friends or very, very powerful weapons and a Warframe that can go invincible and kind of cheese stuff like Valkyria, for instance, with her number 4 Hysteria. Makes you invincible, makes you gain health as you smack things. And also, you will not want to bring a pet because the things in this mission will down it constantly and then you won't be able to revive it and it will get unhappy with you. What I mean by this is if you just go over the incubator here, as you can see with my Helmuth Charger, Ashes, as soon as he gets over here, oh, he actually doesn't even have to. He has the loyalty meter right here. And this goes down over just daily, like over a certain amount of days, and you have to interact with them by petting them like this. You only have 3 interactions per day. There you can see. And the thing is, if they die in a mission and you don't revive them, their loyalty will go down because it feels like, well, Masters betrayed me, kind of. Why weren't they there for me? Why weren't they reviving me? So, in that, because of that, I suggest instead bring a Sentinel like Death Cube over here, because they are robots and they don't give a crap if they die constantly, like he will on this mission, or it really, because it's a robot. Oh yeah, one last thing. I haven't been uploading for ages because, again, RSI problems, like you may have heard about in my previous video. If you haven't, RSI is like a repetitive strain injury where you can get mainly, I've got it in my hands a tiny bit, but it's just about better now, basically all gone, so shouldn't worry about that anymore, and I will try and get videos up weekly like I've said before. Anyway, on to the mission, and here's not how you do it. Also got to set myself to solo so I don't have just random people popping up in the mission. It can even happen. First things first, you start off the quest, which you also have to have completed the War Within to do. Looks a bit different for me because I've already done it, so I'm just going to hit replay quest. Yeah, since I'm not going to be focusing on the story, I'm not even going to really listen to what they have to say. But I do have to wait for these text things of what all the characters have to say to finish, like they have to finish speaking, and then I can actually go to the place and get the parts. So first place we're going to is Neptune. And we have to follow this ball of light/music to each location and find each of the pieces. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to also mention before you do this at all, decide to get this mission, is that if you're imagining Octavia to sound like this, Yeah, well, don't. Because what she is really like when you start playing with her is more like this. Anyway, on to the actual mission. I've been wondering why you're just ignoring the corpus. Well, I'm tough enough that I don't even need to shoot them. Just follow this little ball right here. Oh, and also my death cube is taking them out quite well. Of course, I will get rid of any that get in my way, but I won't go out of my way to kill corpus in this mission. I won't even go out of my way even if they lock the doors because I can just hack them. Oh, so keep in mind that this ball sometimes, it's got some kind of parting AI issues, and as you can see, it's just floating around the air. It really should be getting onto its actual location and going there, but it doesn't always do that. And also, it sometimes flies through doors. Yeah, so this is the thing you're looking for right there. The Mandracord body. I'll explain what that actually is in my other video. Just know it's one of the parts for this thing you need to get. Sorry if this is all over the place, but I literally can't control... Oh, thank you, Orb, for blowing up that barrel and making me slow as a snail. Anyway, as I was saying, I can't really control how long this part is going to take because I'm following an Orb here, and I haven't played this mission enough to memorize exactly where each and every piece of this thing I'm trying to find are, because honestly, who would do that? Like, who can you think of? Except maybe for, like, I don't know, a continuous charity live stream, like a 24-hour live stream of just replaying the Octavia mission over and over again for some odd reason. Why would you continuously play this mission over and over until you literally know by heart where this bowl is going to go and don't even need to follow it? So yeah, I'm just going to have to follow this bowl, and this mission might take quite a while because of that. Not really much I can do, as I already said. Anyway, while I'm following, I might as well talk about some other stuff. One of the things I'm going to talk about is the fact that I've learned last time through playing this and getting a quick primer. By that I mean, I played this mission very recently to know everything you have to do in it and not have to look up stuff from the wiki while in the middle of playing this, because that would just ruin the pacing of this entire video. Anyway, as I was saying, you can actually, I didn't know this at first, but you can actually find some of your Samaria's targets and scan them in this mission if they're corpus. So what I'm saying is your scanning target that Samaria's presents to you as a fusion mower or nullify crewman, they can appear in this mission. It's your choice if you want to get them or not. Just thought you should know. Also, since this is a corpus mission, and I know I've said this in previous videos, but feel free to open any lockers, because corpus lockers always provide more credits than Grineer lockers do. Because corpus like to stack more money in them, because they are the Merchant Guild faction, and they're all about money. Or profit. If you don't know what profit is, it's kind of half greed, half profit. The joke that was mentioned in the trailer of Operation Amulus, which is some operation where you go and kill this gigantic mower, the boss that had a rework. Before, the boss was really, really lame. It was just a black mower, and it stomped and created fire circles, and had a grapple hook it shot out of its gun. That and the Ancient's grapple hook are two of what I think are some of like the most inconsistent things in this game, because like a Grineer Scorpion, she's a lady with like a grapple hook launcher on her hand, I get that, but an Ancient, how the heck does a grapple hook, like a long line of something, just fly out of its hand when it's just plainly infested? Or in this case, a mower. How do you program a gun turret that just shoots regular bullets and then can just fire a grapple hook out of it? That's why I'm quite happy you got the rework, because now, or it really, because it's another robot, because it's now a really cool mower with a laser gun that you actually have to hack like a Bursa. In fact, I wouldn't mind one of those as a companion I could like build. one thing I never really got why is why you can't just build a companion mode that stays with you instead of just using specters. Oh boy. This bowl's taking forever. Oh, if you wonder what that is, that's a focus thing I collect to increase my focus. Focus is another thing got to do with the war within that I just not really concentrate on now, because this is about how to get Octavia. If this dang bowl would just actually go where it's supposed to. It's going to go there eventually? It's like playing hide and seek with... He doesn't know how to play hide and seek. Okay, finally, this was the area I was actually meant to go. Took it long enough. Fair enough. It's going to take forever, isn't it? It's cutting through walls as well. Makes it very, very hard to go and actually get, because I can't go through walls like it can. I wish I could. I mean, you can sometimes, considering how many glitches you can find in Warframe, but that's usually not your intention by then. And also, when you go through walls, you usually aren't able to control exactly where you want to go. Like, most of the times, me and my friends have gotten inside walls, gotten ourselves stuck. Unlike this thing. Actually, very much like this thing. Because it's stuck as well. Except it just can't decide where it wants to go. I've been actually trapped. Yeah, I'm actually quite glad that these put in the unstuck command. If you don't know what that is, if you're ever stuck, you just type in /unstuck in the chat, and the game will try and get you out of what position you're stuck in. And that there that I just shot is an Oxium Osprey. So this mission quite good for getting Oxium. I don't believe this. Now I've even lost this thing. Okay, good. It's actually moving on, because if it wasn't moving on, I could have cut in the video and just cut to when this thing has finally found its location it actually wants to go. Oh boy. Okay, finally. Honestly, this is like the worst time it could happen, because every other time it's been less glitchy than this. So you're actually seeing in this recording of mine the worst it's actually been. The AI has gotten worse. Oh, and this little purple thing, they've added a new spot to your orbiter, which is like a your personal quarters, where I guess you have your bed and stuff, except there is no bed. It's a bit weird. And that thing there is a Soma chord tome. They're a little like those blue Cephalon fragments you can find, except in this case they unlock music, and you have a jukebox in there. You don't have to build it, by the way. Every one of these rooms comes with them. And if you scan enough of these, you can start playing music on the jukebox. Oh, here it is. Oh, and that was actually the last one. Good. Anyway, as I was saying, you can scan them and then start playing music on the jukebox, which is neat and all, except for one problem I find. YouTube exists, and people have already uploaded every single song that has ever existed in the Warframe soundtrack, even the new stuff, so it's kind of pointless playing it from there. I mean, sure, your friends can hear it, I guess, if they go in, or like people who you invite to your personal quarters, but then they'll just be listening to a song they can just look up at any time on YouTube as well and listen to it. I mean, it's kind of neat. I'm still going to collect all the Soma chord tones, but yeah, it is a little bit pointless. Yeah, so anyway, that was the part 1 of... Well, I'm not going to actually cut this video into different parts. It's all going to be one long video. But that was just like part 1 of the quest. Following that annoying orb and finding all the pieces of the Soma chord. Soma chord is like some kind of magical musical jukebox thingamajig, and you would build it from the foundry, except... I'm just going to search for it now. As you can see, all that happens when I search Soma is Soma Prime. That's because I've already completed this mission. So just search Soma yourself and it should pop up. I forget the exact materials you need for it, but it wasn't too much of it, if I remember correctly, like just a bit of ferrite and stuff like that. So it shouldn't be too much of a problem for you to go and find the required materials to build it, and then build that. And then after that, you just, well, yeah. Wait for it to build, or rush it with platinum. I suggest not rushing it, because you can spend it on way better things, like Orokin reactors for increasing your weapon's power, and weapon slots and stuff like that. Yeah, so now I'm just going to wait for these two to finish talking. Cephalon Suda, one of the syndicates, the boss of one of the syndicates, and Ordis, your trusty, rusty Cephalon that I really wish I could replace already. Yeah, so now we're off to Uranus. Not gonna insert obvious Uranus joke because it's been done far too many times to death. And plus one of you in the comments is already going to make it for this video probably. So I'm already covered. The reason why I'm not changing loadouts either is because the loadout I have right now works just as well against Grenier as it does Corpus. Honestly, a Bratton Prime with so much slash and so much radiation has got on it, and a Death Cube with just madly fires the machine gun at everything in sight is pretty good for this mission. Yeah, so with these elevators, just, I say do what I do here. Slam your way all the way down. And the reason why you want to do that is because then you don't have to wait for the elevator to go down, even though it's very fast. And also, slamming means that you don't take, you don't stop on the floor. What I mean by that is, I can't show you right now because Valkyrie is immune to that. With other Warframes, when you drop from a really far height, they kind of land and catch themselves with their hands, and it stops the momentum a little. But if you slam your way down, your momentum isn't stopped. It just helps with the flow of jumping and moving and everything for me. Yeah, so now we're just on Uranus to go find another Manticore-like thing. This is like some kind of music-playing jukebox that the Grenier have unearthed here, because they were trying to find out about the same kind of Warframe, Octavia, which is what you're trying to get here, with Suda's help, of course. And Cephalon Suda wants your help, because she wants to learn more about music. I know I am explaining a little bit here already, but I've explained in much more detail in the other video. What I said about it. So I'll just stop talking about that crap. I've said enough about it. And reason why I'm not going and I'm not going and breaking any Grenier crates in this mission, because, well, like I said before, Corpus crates is where you have all the money, and I don't really need any of the other stuff that pops up in here, because you have a less chance of resources spawning than there is money. Yeah, that's why I'm not breaking them. And as you can see, the classic Grenier intelligence that work here, they're not able to notice me. Oh, don't worry about that. There's just someone linking something in the chat. That little... Oh! Thank you for reminding me, game. You are going to need an Arcwing for this as well, and do Sharkwing, which is what the community has named the underwater Arcwing segments. Also, this is the max speed you can go. Yes, I know it's pathetic. I don't know why the developers made this the max speed either. Actually, no, that was the max speed, and that was using boost. It's still far too slow. And if you're wondering what randomly hit me and made me bleed, it's a shark. It's called a lynx. And you can actually get rid of them, like this. See? You just shoot it with whatever gun you have, and it disappears. Oh, the one good thing about this is that even though you need an Arcwing, you don't need it to be high level at all. You can have it level 1 if you want. You just need one though, so you need to complete the Arcwing mission first. In fact, I think if you haven't completed it, it won't even let you do this mission because the game knows you need one. And also, don't worry about the Grenier enabling any alarms. You only really should care is if they enable like the second alarm, which makes everything turn yellow and locks you out of places, because you need to go places here. You can't be staying in a one room all day killing Grenier, as fun as that would be, because you need to get to this thing. Now when you're here, make sure either not too many enemies around you. That's why I'm going to kill whoever it is over here. Well, so they can't interrupt me by shooting me when I'm about to get this jukebox working. And especially this heavy gunner, because who wants a Gorgon firing point blank at your back while you're hacking that thing? So here we are, and this might look confusing to you. It did to me at first as well. What you have to do basically is this is trying to play a song, and you have to line up the correct bits of the song with the correct pip here. What I mean by this is like you move your mouse over here, and it will highlight one of these. Then you choose the correct one, so I'm going to choose the bottom. And then over here, just choose the top, and basically you repeat the pattern you're shown, and then it will start playing a song. Octavia's default song, actually. In other words, this is like if you don't if you don't design your own song, which is the main point of playing Octavia, this is the default song that the game will have installed on the Warframe for you. Yeah, and now you can continuously hear the music playing in the mission. I guess as long as you're close to the jukebox, it immediately stopped playing when you got far away. So now, as you can see from the green indicator on the map, that's this part of the mission done. All you have to do. Kill as many grenades as you want, stay as long as you want, or don't just give a crap about any of them and just rush to the exit. I'm doing a bit of both here, because why not shoot a few of them and get a little loot along the way, and also it's pretty fun to do. That mob there, yes I have like 1,000,001 of them, but it's still useful to me. Also it's kind of fun seeing the grenade fly in half because of how much slash my Bratton has. Yeah, so part 2 done. On to part 3. Also, just as another little tidbit, Uranus, as you can see, is an excellent place for getting polymer bundle. If you want to get it, I suggest that's where you go look for it. Also, if you put extractors on the planet, not of course the Titan extractors, the regular kind of extractor, they're also really good for getting polymer bundle, because as you can see, if I try and put one down, polymer bundle is the the least rarest resource, so you'll be getting that most often. So your extractor's going to go and collect that the most out of all of them. Yeah. The only thing you have to do to place an extractor is complete every single mission on Uranus. Actually, that's actually that's not the only thing you should do, really. That's quite a task, but trust me, it's worth it because the extractor provides you with plenty of polymer. And also, if you unlock every single mission, then you obviously have access to the dark sectors like this one, which provide a bonus to the amount of resources picked up and the bonus to experience. So now, we're just waiting for Cephalon Samarius to talk, because he's actually been in this mission. And as well as orders to just talk and get on with what they're saying. I can't skip this, unfortunately, even though I have them muted. There is no skip button just yet. Yeah, so next, we're heading off to Alua, which is the moon. Like I said, this has spoilers of Wars In, so if you didn't want to be spoiled anymore, leave now. I should have kind of already mentioned that you should leave if you really don't want any spoilers, but I did already at the start. Anyway, don't let this level 20 thing fool you. You will be facing some rock hard level 20 things here, and on these planets, on any of the moon tile sets of this quest, this is the reason why I told you not to bring any Kubraus or Helmeth charges. Funny thing is, Kavats actually don't, like the cats in this game, don't actually care if you let them die. So, if you're okay with bringing one of them on the mission, you find it more useful, sure, do that. But just don't bring Kubraus or Helmeth charges, the infested version of a Kubrau, because they will get upset about dying for you on this mission. I guess Kavats just are like cats and are more independent or something. I don't know. It doesn't really make that much sense because really I think any pet would get upset except the Sentinel for you basically letting them die, even if you tried your hardest. Oh, and by the way, when they die, it's not permanent death, of course, your pet. That would just mean you actually have to let them fully decay by not giving them enough DNA stabilizers, and then they will actually fully die. Unless, of course, you have an incubator upgrade segment that you get from Hayeka Masters. These Grenier that have basically these horrible-looking, skinless Kavats called Hayeka. It's kind of like a Siamese cat, except it's mutated beyond all oblivion. Yeah, and if you get that segment from them and build it, which requires dojo research, by the way, your pet will never die. It will get put into emergency stasis when its health reaches 0, which is great for me. It actually saved the Helmeth charge you saw at the start of the video, Ashes. It saved him from dying when they went on holidays. I really recommend that. Yeah, so the first part of this mission is pretty easy. All you do is just you follow the place you have to go, and then fight these Sentients. These are the rock hard things I talked about. As you can see, they're level 20, but they're taking far more bullets than the level 30 Grenier did. And so if you want to beat them, either pump keep some bullets into them, or use your operator form like so. It is also from the War Within, so more spoilers. And then blast them a little with the void beam you have, and that will remove their resistances, and then you can continuously shoot them again. And when the good thing about these battle lists also is that they seem to be a bit glitchy sometimes and will just not attack you for some weird reason. And as you can see there, Death Cube turned red, which means that he has already died once and he can only die one time again, which just shows how quickly they can kill companions. Like, he has the health of right now a decent Warframe, 300 shields and like 400 or something health. Yes, you just beat them and then move on. And while I'm fighting them, I might as well talk about their attacks and how to avoid it. So the main attack they do, which you probably haven't seen too much, is where they just sit where they are and fire like these two orbs at you. They do a lot of damage though. So just jump around the room to avoid them. The next one is that they spin around like that. I call it the disco ball attack because that's what it looks like. And for that one, just don't get too near them and you can just avoid them. They also create tons and tons of little mini explosions, as you can see over there that one's doing. And then the last attack, which they haven't done, is the Tornado Whirlwind of Doom, where they'll spin around and turn grey. And when you see anything's health bar turn grey, don't attack it, because that means it's invincible. I'm going to show you right now. If you look at the top right at my health, it's now turned grey, meaning I'm invincible. Oh, and by the way, this is why I say to bring Valkyrie. Anything ever gets too tough, just do something like enter Hysteria or Wukong, go into his invincibility, and just beat the crap out of it. Because it can't fight back against you. And for some reason they have blood, I just noticed that. And don't feel like you're cheesing the mission, because it is kind of inherent, and sentients are inherently cheesy. Also, I don't know if this is the case, but I don't know if these sentients actually drop many mods, because I haven't really tested it myself. But if they do drop mods, then this would be an excellent mission to go get yourself some mods that are sentient exclusive. And by that is that mods that only sentients drop. Also, the great thing about using the Void Beam in Operator mode is that it stuns them a little. They don't continuously just fly around all the damn time and avoid your shots. And yes, this is going to take a little while here, and yes, this would be much quicker if you had some friends, but I'm doing it alone because I can, and also to prove that you don't actually need anyone else to do this if you have high enough rank stuff. You can do this solo, which honestly is how some people like to do it, and I can't blame them. Like, for instance, if you were chatting with your friend all the time on Discord while playing this, or Mumble, or TeamSpeak, or Skype, or anything else, you might not be able to listen to the story because you're too busy joking about, like, how funny the characters sound, or how, like, weird these things are, how they remind you of disco balls. Which is why, if you do want to chat with a friend in this, I recommend playing this mission twice. So you can experience both the story on your own, by yourself, and then just joke around and have fun with a friend. But of course, if that friend of yours is someone who loves story and is good talking about with it, then sure, bring it. Yeah, this is that attack I was talking about, where they just shoot those orbs. I'm sitting still here so you can actually see it firing some. Oh, and also, I don't know if you've noticed before, but sometimes when you shoot one of these sentients enough, you can rip off their arms, or wings, whatever you call it. It makes, I'm not sure exactly what it does. I know it disables them in some way. I forget exactly which way it disables them, but I know it's going to be good for you. Oh, I don't mind that little lighting glitch there. It's like I said, just a glitch. And as you can already see, Death Cube is already dead. Yeah, so now we just need to wait for Orders to finish talking and for the lighting glitches to happen. Yeah, so now you have to just do the same thing and play the second part of this song, which will, once you're finished, mixed with the first part of the song to create a better sounding song than you heard before. Because at the start, it was just playing the percussion notes. Now it's playing these, I don't know what, I'm not too musically inclined, so I don't know what these type are called, but I know that when you definitely play them both, that makes it sound better. Ah, that's what happened. I put it at the top instead of the bottom there. Oh, and same with here. Just misjudged that. Sorry this is taking a little while. Just it's a little bit harder to think when you're recording. Doing alright. Some of you are probably already screaming at the screen about like what I'm doing wrong, and yeah, you probably have a right to, because it can be damn frustrating when whoever you're watching on YouTube or something like that just doesn't understand how something works. I generally tend to not do it too much when I'm watching videos though. I mean, there's not that much point getting mad at someone who's doing something that you don't really have any control over because it's already recorded, like in this case. Oh, that's what I was missing. Yes, and as you can hear, very quietly, because I have the volume turned to 0 because I got very annoyed of other players' bandit chords. And also, yeah, that's another problem. Before you plan on getting Octavia, just know that her music loop is a 1-minute loop, and when I say loop, it is loop. It will play whatever you have on repeat. So, if for example, you decided that you wanted to look up online how to get, for example, a song I love, The Joker and the Thief in the Night to play by following along with their guide, or for instance, Epic Sax Guy, another song I really like, you couldn't get all of it to play that well. Because it's only 1 minute of it. Yes, keep that in mind when getting Octavia. In fact, I'm going to explain after I'm finished doing this why Octavia is actually a little bit of a disappointment for me. Oh, that's what happened. I was just wondering where it went wrong, and it turns out I need to go higher up. That room was too low. And even though sentients keep attacking you at this point, you can just ignore all of them and rush to the exit, because there's no real point killing them right now, unless of course they do drop mods, which I already said I don't know if they do or not, and you want to collect them. Yeah, so just jump your way to the end, and that's part 3 of this complete. As you can see, this mission is not very good for getting credits. You might as well go do something else if you want credits. Like the index. Everyone seems to do the index if they want credits, which is one of the best ways to get it. It's a little hard though. And then you have more waiting. Waiting for them to finish talking. At least it's a nice view of the moon and the Earth behind it. Odd. The Earth in this universe is completely messed up, like the forest is completely overgrown, but looks still so nice. Actually, I guess that actually is how it would look, because even overgrown forest with killer wildlife would look still pretty green and nice. And I guess it would have deserts and everything. And then of course there's the plains of Eidolon. New place that was added very, very recently. It's a gigantic open world map where you can do tons of things, like going fishing. Very, very relaxing. Especially when you have some real chill music on and just go fishing with your friends. Great way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Oh, one other thing I should add. Any of these nodes you see, if you want, you can pause the video when I'm about to enter them and the countdown's going down, just there, like with those 5 seconds. If you don't have that node already unlocked, you will need to unlock each and every one of them to play each part of this mission, so yeah, just go and unlock them if you don't have them done already, because you will need them for this mission. Off we go to find more music, or music-related things. And if you're wondering how sentients are in the void and have played the wars in and listened to all the story and everything, because yeah, sentients, which are the minions of this, well, I guess bigger sentient called Hanao. He was in the War Within quest. He's one of the major antagonists of it. the void is like poison to them. So they go in there and they just shrivel up and die or melt or something. I haven't actually seen it happen myself. And right now, Ordis is like, what? How is this possible? How are there sentients in the void? Because they should shrivel up and melt. The reason is because Hanhao has started messing with Cephalon Suda and is using her to send them in. I'll explain in greater detail in the part where I actually explain what's like the story version of this mission. Tutorial series thing, you know what I mean. Oh, that's what I should be doing. Playing another part of one of these. And adding the last few notes so it sounds even better. This song, I kinda like it, but I preferred my own way better. And then here comes the sentient attacking you, and that is actually what a lot of this mission sadly is. I really think that, just like the Glass Gambit, B really missed out on an opportunity here where they could have made some great storytelling or great mechanics. Instead, fire a wave of sentience, activate this thingamadoo, fire a wave of sentience. Kind of boring, honestly. Especially when they get kind of annoying to fight, like here. Just constantly run around and try and get away from it. The good news, though, and if you've noticed it, is that when you kill a sentient, it will fully restore your energy. So you don't even need energy restored on this mission or any more than energy cycle to get you more energy if you rely on an energy-heavy frame. And also, if you don't like using the operator form, as you can see now, because you get extra energy from killing these sentients, you can just brute force them to death with Hysteria, or something like that. I mean, the operator mode does help, but yeah. It's also a bit of a shame, in my opinion, that this map is doesn't really have too much else to do with it. Like, they have all these new things in it, like musical instruments, yet you're just right here hacking just a completely average one of these panels that you've done for every single Void Sabotage ever. Oh, and if you're wondering what that purple thing was that I smashed earlier and got like some kind of collectible at the bottom of the screen, that was an Argon crystal. You can only find them in the Void. They're these special purple crystals, and they melt your inventory after a while. What I mean by that is, like, every 24 hours, half of the ones you have in your inventory will just disappear. It is a terrible idea for a resource, in my opinion. It means you just feel rushed, like you have to even build something, and sometimes you don't even have something to build when you collect them. Like, for instance, right now I don't have something to build, which makes you feel like you just want to go and build something that you don't even need at the time with an Argon crystal. In fact, for that reason, I kind of prefer Alertium over that. What I mean by that is Nitan Abstract. That's another thing I'm not really that happy about that they included in the game. You can only get it through the alerts that the toolkit says mined in Uranus in underwater caverns. Like, why not put some patches that in Uranus, actually? And yes, I do realize the accident to show mentioned is there, but like I said, it's been made 1,000 times. Make it. Oh, and as you can see here, jumping and slashing like I'm doing means that even when these buggers get in the air, you can still not give a crap, not even come out of Hysteria, and just still kill them. Another mod that would be great to have for this mission is Eternal War, which means that every time you kill an enemy, the Warframe effect, which makes you swing your weapon faster, will just keep on going. Like, every time you kill an enemy, it refreshes it, so you don't have to cast it again. And also keep in mind, with using Hysteria, it depends on what weapon you have, how fast you swing. Like, as you can see there, I was swinging very fast, because the weapons I have originally are the Prisma Dual Cleavers, like the ones I got on my back right here. And they originally swing very fast, but... Gee, that is loud. Yeah, they originally swing very fast, but if you have something slower, like for example the Galatine Prime, your swings I think will do much more damage, but be much slower. But you can just kind of use Warcry to offset that, and also Eternal War if you're using it. Yeah, and now Order says you need more power, so this is what I was talking about, where they just send you from kind of one location to another, just fighting sentients. Oh yeah, and of course then there's the little laser room, pretty easy to avoid, just dodge the lasers. I've never gotten a sentient to actually like be struck by the lasers, but I don't really think it would do much because I've shot them before with my Bratton Prime, got them radiation proc, and radiation on normal enemies, it makes them start attacking each other, but it didn't do much to them. Also, you see this little floor panel here? If you shoot it, you can go down into it, and they're too stupid to actually try and just like actually attack you in here, so you can kind of use it to cheese them. Okay, they actually are shooting me right now, but if you ever want to get safe, just run out to a part like here where they can't shoot you, and you can just like pop the gun out of the hole and shoot them, because as I said before, why bother actually playing this fair when they're a bunch of no-good cheaters that have way too high resistances anyway? You cheat to beat a cheat, I say. But of course I don't even really need a cheat because my Warframe and everything is strong enough. Yeah, even though this part of the mission is a bit boring, at least the last part is more interesting. In fact, it's probably going to be like something you've never seen yet. Oh, and the reason why I'm not using Valkyrie number 3, which is where it screams and reduces the enemy's shields. Some things I'm pretty sure don't have any shields, otherwise they'd have a blue bar above them. Oh boy, I forgot there's more of these buggers. Never-ending wave of sentience. Yeah, sometimes moments like this in games honestly make me wish I was a really good game designer so I could actually design my own games. It doesn't inspire me to never ever do anything like this. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, I'm not totally bashing VE here, but I'm just thinking, design something entertaining, like, I don't know, an obstacle course you run dodging musical notes, where the green ones give you speed boosts, the red ones, I don't know, debuff you or hurt you. And if you die, you have to, I don't know, like, start over or recharge yourself by playing a piano song, one of those things. I mean, that might actually not be too good in theory that I think about it. It might be a little bit of an annoying quest, but it feels like it's more interesting to basically just wave defense, which Warframe was enough. If you want to play that, still play a defense mission. If you want to fight sentients, just play any mission on the moon. It doesn't have to be this quest line. Yeah, so as you can tell now, the song's kind of playing in its entirety, which is what you're trying to do. I don't know what this is, though. It seems to be a sentient part, but I can't pick it up for some reason. The reason why I'm not really fighting them too much here is the game hasn't really told me by putting like a red mark on them that I have to kill these, so I'm not really going to bother fully killing them unless it actually tells me I need to. Huh, and I didn't need to kill them. They went away for one reason or another. And that's this part of this part of the mission done. Part 3 or 4, I think. Either way, next part I'm very sure is the last part. And don't worry if you can't really tell where I'm going because I'm running too fast right now and everything's just a blur. You just have to follow this green indicator, really, that's it. So now the next part of it, you have to go to Samarius, his room on the relay, and of course you would. I'm not going to say if you unlocked it or not, because of course you would have unlocked it by now, because to actually do this mission, you need to talk to Cephalon Suda, which is on the relay, to even like start in the first place. Yeah, that also, by the way, is where you started. So actually, just go show you where I started. So, to get to Cephalon Samarius, you can just really quickly press start, go down, go to navigation. Oh wait, that's not the right one. You just click on Cephalon Samarius, and you go right to his room. And then you can talk to him. But I'm just going to show you first where you find Cephalon Suda on this relay. So I'm up on the top floor right now. You just use an elevator to descend, and if you'd already start off on the bottom floor, so you wouldn't even need to do that normally. And to get there, you see right there is her room. Just gonna go forward a little more so I can show you that over here is where you'd come in from the relay, like right over here. That is where you landed your ship. So you just run through these doors, then go here, over here, take a right over here, go through this door, and then go through this door, and then talk to Cephalon Suda. The crazy thing is, I'm actually very high rank with Cephalon Suda, the maximum rank. So I'm basically like one of her best, I don't know, associates, or like minions or something, whatever you'd want to call that. But you can be completely hated with Cephalon Suda, or any of these people, and any of the missions they have for you, they will still let you do, which I find a bit bonkers. Like, she wants to basically laser some people to death, and she'll say, oh sure, I'll help you find Octavia. So now we're talking about Suda's datascape. A datascape is basically a reality that a Cephalon can conjure to mess around with and have fun with. Like Cephalon Samaris has one called the Simulacrum, where you can spawn enemies you've scanned, and he lets you use it for a key you purchase off him from enough reputation. Basically, you do enough jobs for me, and he goes, okay, I'll let you access a fragment of my mind to spawn enemies in, and go and use that to test your weapons against them, which is really fun, by the way. I recommend getting that key. They put improvements in the game, in that part of the game, so now you can make yourself invincible. Before you have to just use low key if you wanted the enemies not to attack you, but now you can just sit there and take the hits and not care and not die. Yeah, so what I'm doing right here is telling Samaria, send me into Cephalon Suda's datascape to help her and help her fight Hunhao, because Hunhao, the evil sentient, is trying to take her over and corrupt her. And as he says there, it's going to be a strange and abstract place, and he is not kidding. First off, this loading screen, you're probably thinking, whoa, what the heck is this? And then this music track starts, and you're wondering what the heck is going on. Yeah, that is Hunhao controlling Suda. That big red thing there is how utterly gigantic Hunhao is. If you use all those little things bad with what it can shoot and spin attack, I bet his attacks are even worse. So what you do here is you replay the Octavia anthem memory, not by doing that, and dodge this giant beam. If it hits you, it staggers you and does a tiny little bit of damage. Actually, not a tiny bit, quite a decent amount. Like there you can see it taking a little chunk off my health and a bit off my shields. But if you build for really high health and shield and use like rejuvenation to bring a healing frame, you should be okay. I fully recommend something like rejuvenation for this mission. Otherwise, you probably will just die from Hunhao and all these sentient minions. Like, I can't properly time this all the time to dodge every single one of his attacks. Anyway, so what you do here is you make sure you don't step on any of the wrong places, otherwise you put a wrong note in. If you step on these green things, you put the right note in. And you just continuously do this all the way around. So instead of doing it all, since I usually make a few mistakes, I'll put a cut in here like I really should have earlier, actually, fighting the sentients, because it's going to be a bit boring. So I'll get back when I'm actually done with the first part. And here we are, back where we left off, and there's only one more of these bad red notes to get rid of. Or at least that's what I thought. Hold on a moment when I put another cut in here and find that last orb. Okay, finally found all of them. And as you can see, the notes, as they get hit, they're playing music which is striking Hunhow, because apparently his weakness is a good tune. Who knew? And now, everything has spawned again, making you have to like add the next part of notes to the melody, which is not just percussion, and also sentient little drone things have come to attack you. And as you may be thinking, oh no, sentients, I'm totally doomed. They're already hard enough to fight the first part of this mission. Don't worry. For some reason, Hunhow skipped his budget, and these die in one hit. So you're actually pretty much safe to continue. Also, one other thing is, as you can see there, if they stand on the note, they will prevent you from playing it. Basically, Hunhow is doing his best, which is a lackluster effort, at trying to kill you. He's a terrible evil villain when it comes to that. If I was him, I'd honestly just buy some kind of powered-up Death Star beam. In fact, you don't even need to. Just get an Opticore, put a few Former onto it, point it at Tenno's face, and go, hey, guess what, Tenno? I'm gonna join. Don't point at their face. Let's say I'm gonna join your side. Please tell your Lotus to meet me in these coordinates. And when you're there, you just go psych, tricked you, and then shoot you in the face with your Opticore. No need for all this melody weird stuff. I mean, I guess we brought the melody, but seriously, Hunhow, you brought like a half-built little Octalist or whatever things they are here to kill me. I am kind of glad he did this though, because it makes it incredibly easy to fight. Yeah, so I'll just put another cut in here when I'm done just, well, correcting all these notes, stepping on the red ones to get rid of them and the green ones to while shooting these. Oh, one other thing is, when jumping, try not to land on an empty place, otherwise you add a red note. And also, when jumping, try and pay a little bit of attention to when this beam's going to come, because if you stand on the higher platforms like I did there, it won't stumble you. And if you get stumbled and fall off while on jumping, it will reset you right back to the start, meaning you have to do a long run around again. None of this will really kill you. It's more just an exercise in a slight frustration than Hunhow actually doing a good job as an evil villain. So yeah, as I said, I'll put another cut in here. Oh, and one last thing before I put the cut in, is that as you complete these platforms that you can stand on here, all of them will generally get lower, so there'll be less and less high up space for you to be safe from Hunhow's little beam. Yeah, as I said, putting cut in. Yep, so here's the next part completed, and he's going to bombard again, and Ordis has actually joined you. So because this is the Cephalon's datascape, and he is a Cephalon, normally he can't fight at all, and he's just actually in the ship. Which I kind of actually beg to differ from what I just said, because Ordis actually could potentially easily reset as a giant ram, and just crash it into any sentient face he requires. Yeah, he's saying erase there. Actually, hope. But it still doesn't make me any less mad at Ordis, because of how infuriating and how annoying it is. A little sorry to him, but not really sorry, because I just can't stand the guy, honestly. Too annoying. Like I said many times before, I prefer my own British butler Cephalon. So yeah, so as you can see, not much has changed here, except for the fact that the platforms are now all lower, making it harder, but it's also easy at the same time, because Ordis is just shooting the sentients for me, so I don't have to spend time going and aiming at them. So anyway, I'll put in a cut when it's the last bit, so I can explain the last little mechanics for this. So that was that part completed, actually taking me quite a lot of surprise because I kept them falling down. Glad you didn't have to see that. That was embarrassing. It was frustrating. So yeah, and that's basically how you defeat Hunhow. Just repeat the same thing 3 times over, and Suda remembers who she is and that she's not controlled by Hunhow. And Ordis and Samaris and everyone are happy, and then they go chat with each other, and Suda's confused why she hears music, and her datascape is back to normal, like it should be. So apparently this is what Suda's datascape looks like. Yeah, Ordis is just explaining this. So after all the Cephalons have this little chat, and you stay here silently, just standing there with your gun, or be bit of an asshole and shoot one, but it won't do anything. The quest will end, Suda will thank you, and you will get Octavia's blueprint. Yeah, so that's actually it. As soon as this ends, pretty much thanks for watching. You now know how to get Octavia. Well, not entirely, actually. There's actually going to be a part 2 to this that I'll do, or maybe multiple parts, where I'll explain how to get the actual pieces, because all this gives you is the blueprint, and of course you need the systems, neuroptics, or helmet, as it used to be called, and chassis, to build Octavia, and then of course the parts you get for that. So well, yeah, once you're done, it puts you right back in the relay where you're next to Cephalon Suda. So yeah, that was Octavia's anthem. A bit of a slog, if I do say so myself. And I was going to say I hope you enjoyed playing it, but you probably actually didn't, to be honest. So stay tuned for how to get Octavia's pieces. Bye!